Hi, and welcome to Connie TV. I'm Chris at Connie Technical Support. And today we're going to be talking about the Virtuoso SG800 and SG400 printers and common paper misfeed errors to include multiple paper feed, paper jams, or just regular paper feed not being able to pull it into the tray to begin with, errors. The first thing we're going to do is if you have a bypass tray, we're going to go ahead and remove it, and we'll get to that towards the end. Then we're going to take a look on the inside of the front of the printer, and we're going to start here. The first thing we want to do is we want to remove the front tray. It should pull directly out without much issue. You don't want to yank on it, of course. There are some plastic pieces in there that can tear up if you snatch it. And a couple of things we're going to look at. First, we want to make sure that the lifting mechanism is working properly, that none of the springs are loose or bent, and that it lifts and then sits down properly on its own. The next thing you'll want to look at is this cork area. It will feel like cork. You want to rough it up, maybe with your fingernail or with a penny if it's too smooth. This will cause the multiple paper feed. If it's too smooth, it'll start grabbing more than one piece of paper at a time, and that of course causes an issue with your printing. So once it's rough to the touch, that's when it's good to go and ready for printing. You don't want to tear pieces off of it, of course, so be careful when you do it. The next thing you'll want to do outside of the tray is up underneath here. We can't get a real good view of it, but if you reach back to the far back on the upper portion, you'll feel a couple rollers. And you want to make sure you don't feel any paper in there or any paper that's jammed up in that part. If you do, you'll of course want to pull it out and make sure that you don't feel any damage or broken pieces up in there. All right, now we're going to look at the inside of the top of the printer. And of course, before doing anything inside of the printer, you want to make sure that the power is off to avoid any type of chances for injury or accidents. And what we're looking at here, we're looking at this roller right here that runs along, especially towards the corner edges and around here where the paper feeds through. Once you're done here, you made sure that there's no blockage in the paper feed. You can go ahead and close the top tray, and we're going to work our way towards the back of the printer. Now that we've removed our bypass tray and checked the other portions of the printer, we're going to check the back area. And to do so, we just want to unlatch these gray latches and allow the tray to come down. You don't want to allow it to slam down to cause any damage. And the first thing we're going to be looking for is mainly these roller areas right up in here, because the paper is going to feed through and then feed back, and that's where it will start to catch and cause any types of issues with the paper jam. You really want to be careful around the corner areas. A lot of times they'll get caught up in here. Another thing you want to watch are these little plastic tabs here. You want to make sure that none of these are damaged or broken or bent. And you want to make sure that there's a gap or space between them and the bar, because if it's too tight, it'll cause a jam also. The next thing you want to look at are these plastic tabs here that run along the tray door for the printer. It's the same thing. If they're broken or bent, they can catch on the paper and cause it to jam up or bunch up there, of course causing a misfeed error. Once you've checked these areas and they're all clear, you can shut the tray door and we'll work and take a look at the bypass tray. If you have a bypass tray, go ahead and pull it off, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look in here, the top area where the paper sits and feeds through. You do have a cork area here, and it's the same as the other one. You want to make sure it's rough to the touch. You're probably not going to be able to take a penny and fit it in there, but you may be able to use a fingernail or a screwdriver, of course, making sure that you don't tear it or take any pieces off of it, causing damage to it. If that's not smooth at the touch, it's going to, of course, cause multiple paper feed issues. The next thing you're going to look at are these two gray areas here. One's dark gray, one's light gray. You want to make sure that there's no buildup or gunk or anything in there. You can clean that with denatured alcohol and a paper towel. And you want to make sure you don't see any paper, of course, caught up in any of these areas around it, which could, of course, obstruct the paper and cause it to go in crooked and a paper jam. Then we're going to take a look at the front of the tray, where the paper starts to come out of the tray and feeds into the printer, making sure that there's no blockage or any type of small pieces of paper that can cause a misfeed as it feeds into the printer. This concludes an overview of the common misfeed areas of the paper feed path for the Virtuoso printers. We hope that this video has helped you with the issue that you're having. If you continue to have problems or questions, please give us a call at 1-800-826-6332, select option number 2. Once again, I'm Chris at Condi Technical Support. We hope you've enjoyed this video on Condi TV, and we look forward to helping you with future issues.
There are so many videos for you to watch, we don't want you to miss out on a single one. So click here to subscribe to Condi TV on our video channel. Click here to like us on Facebook so you don't miss out on anything. And click here to visit this product's webpage.